A Nigerian father and son are facing up to 90 years in American prison if they are found guilty for one of the most sophisticated organized fraud in America. This Nigerian father and son we have the names here which I'm going to share with you. Before we do that, let us hear from the authorities.
Stabilization services. Defendants Christopher and Emmanuel Falade are being charged for their role in operating another fraudulent housing stabilization company called Falade Care. Together, they received more than $2 million in Medicaid billing, purportedly for providing housing stabilization services. Two additional defendants are being charged by information today.
As you heard, two of our Nigerian brothers, we have Christopher Adesuji Folade, 62 years old, and his son, Emmanuel Oludamilade Folade, 32 years old. He is facing the two of them are facing up to 19 years in American prison. Let's dive into the story. How did we get to where we are now? The Minnesota, that's a state in the northwest of America, they were having a problem of homelessness for the elderly, those with disability, those with addiction, substance misuse, and mental health. They could not house them. They didn't have a place for them to stay. A lot of these people, they were sleeping rough. In 2020, the Minnesota government decided to introduce a program called Housing Stabilization Program. This program was designed to address the issue of homelessness that the poor in Minnesota were facing. Good morning. Frank is my name. The Lunch Club is where you hear the latest updates about immigrant daily lived experiences. We share these stories to inform and educate our audience. Somebody says that information is power. Let's dive into the story today. So the program was designed, the initial budget, the government of Minnesota told that this program will only cost them $2.6 million to provide houses for the poorest people, the poorest and vulnerable people in Minnesota. When they launched the program, they relied on private individuals to bid for contract. These individuals would then provide the houses for the vulnerable people and they will be reimbursed by the government. It was a simple program. You provide houses for the poor and the government pays you back. That provided an opportunity for a group of people in Minnesota. Emmanuel report has it that the son was the one, Emmanuel the son was the one that discovered, he heard from his friends that, look, this is an opportunity to make good money. As soon as the young boy started making good money, he started coming up with rollers and other expensive things. Before you know what was happening, Ogbeni, the father then approached and said, young boy, what is going on? I can see you're having a good time. Where are you getting all these things that you're making now? His friends who are from Kenya, who have also been arrested, these guys were driving BMW, Rolex. They were buying expensive things, using expensive things that they couldn't afford. As the old man, the 62 years old man, then saw that his son's friends, they are living large. They are wearing the most expensive watches. They are driving BMW. The father asked the son, according to the report, asked the son, say, son, what is going on? Where are you getting all this money that you're using for this thing? Instead of the father to try to persuade his son to say, son, this thing that you're doing, he could land you in big trouble. The father did not do that. Now we are living in a time where those days when we were growing up, when your father sees you doing something that is wrong, he will say, no, my son, this is not good. This will bring shame onto our name. But today's world, a lot of people, because of greed, Father saw his son doing something wrong. Instead of the father to try to dissuade his son to stop, the father then say, man, this is a easy way for me myself to make money. The father themselves became involved. What they were doing is that they were looking for poor people. They were looking for homeless people. They were looking for people with mental health and substance misuse. If they see you that you're poor, they will approach you that, hey, do you know that the government of Minnesota can give you a house? And these poor people, some of them had a lot of other issues. They say, oh, how can the government give me a house? They will explain the program to these poor people, and they will tell them to sign up that, yes, we are going to give you. They will then collect the poor people's details, use it to submit application to the government to say, we have now provided houses to John, to Williams, and the government, you pay us. The government then realized that a program that was set up to cost only 2.6 million is now going up to $3.2 million. And the government was shocked. Where is all these houses? Where is all these bills coming from? Why is it that we are paying this money out, but houses are not being provided for the poor and vulnerable? That is when they started thinking that something is not right. People started suspecting that, look, our uncle, Mr. Faladay, he himself became ingrained in the business. The money was so sweet to the point where Oloye, who is now 62 years old, became the one that was telling his sons and his friends, look for more people, go and look for more mental health people, go and look for more homeless people, bring them, let them sign up to make money. The greed of money became so tempting for the man that the man himself, he himself was ingrained in this thing, and the man did not want to stop. He did not want to stop because the money was sweet. The government could not account because people were saying that, why is it that the state of Minnesota is paying out large amount of money and yet we still have the same problem we had, which is why we introduced the Housing Stabilization Program in 2022. That was when the eyebrows would raise. FBI then started investigating, and the FBI director who is leading this case, Joseph Thompson, said the 6 people that they have arrested, some of the property, they've traced them to Kenya. So these guys were using their own property money to buy properties in Kenya. They are all mainly Africans in Minnesota, from what we've gathered. Some of them have slashed the money to Kenya. The ones from Nigeria, they've slashed the money to Nigeria, and they use it to buy expensive things. Now the FBI have arrested, and they even realized that these people, they did not even have office. They were using, they came to the government that they have companies, and meanwhile they were using dilapidated buildings as their head office. The government only found out later that this was a scam designed to bankrupt the government, designed to defraud the government. And the saddest part of this is that the poor and homeless people that these people took advantage of, these people, the poor and homeless, they are still living here. They were promised houses, and these guys, they exploited their vulnerability. How would you sleep at night knowing full well that old people who are poor and homeless, you promised them a home, you took advantage of them, you collected their details, and you use it to file to the government, to tell the government that you provided them a house? Some of these people have mental health. Some of these people have a health condition that they are almost dying. And people, because of greed, you did not even have any sense of decency. And the saddest part of it is that our uncle, the Christopher Faladay, who is 62 years old, who is supposed to rein in on the younger generation, say this thing is going to land in trouble, the man decided to partake. And now there is trouble in the air. Imagine father and son going to jail. Where is your father? My father is in the next cell. Where is your son? my son is in the next cell. This is what greed will lead to. And if this father and son are found guilty, they will be spending up to 90 years, the two of them combined in prison. 60 years old man goes to jail at the age of 62 years old man go to jail and asked to spend 45 years in prison. 45 years plus that's 107 years. So he's not going to come back alive. There are valuable lessons, as I always say, that can be learned. If you do not control your greed, greed will destroy you. And you can see where greed has now dragged it further to the point where he himself is not going to jail because he saw his son and his friend living a good life. An old man wanted to participate with it. Hopefully, somebody can learn. Do you have any sympathy for our brother who is facing jail? Do you let me know whether you have any sympathy for father and son, the father, the brothers who are